Welcome to conference. We are at the Wellness Center again, and it's changing. You can see there's something behind me as we move into phase two. This week is special because we're finishing up Mind Lift right at the same time I'm preparing you for Diwali. So our family out there watching today, you will be in the 10 days of Diwali. And still doing all the fun things I'm going to talk about. So in our studies of Mind Lift and preparing for Casper, we've been talking about living in awareness of our nervous system and being able to be great, healthy yogis and modulate from our sympathetic to our parasympathetic nervous system easily, automatically, without having to think about it. And one of the things that Casper uses as an example is understanding our nervous system through this idea of when the caveman or cave woman was outside of the cave, you were hunting and gathering and being chased by tigers and having adventures and finding your mate for life, and you're in your sympathetic system and your heart was beating fast and your eyes were dilating and all those things that we understand. And then at the end of the day, after being an adventurous caveman or cavewoman, then you move back into your cave where it's dark, where it's quiet, and where you can shut everything off and be with a partner, and be with your family, and eat food and allow your body to digest it. And this is healthy us. This is healthy people when we are living both these and modulating between the two. And what's happened is, and I love the way Casper kind of breaks it down, is that right now we're spending too much time in the being chased by tiger state and not enough time in that quiet, dark, peaceful state, digesting our food and relaxing. Instead, we've got our televisions on and the news, and we're on our computers and responding to texts and emails and staying quite stimulated in that sort of place where we're supposed to be quiet. We're still being chased by tigers, or chasing tigers, I should say. So we're going to finish up Mind Lift, but keeping that in mind, we moved into a chapter that Casper talked about practicing. And I'm not going to read it to you because it would take me too long. But it was a beautiful chapter and said in very Casper kind of ways. On page 69, if you do want to read it and kind of catch up with us on this. And he talks about focus on effort instead of talent, and the difference between practicing to try to accomplish something and practicing just to actually enjoy learning something. And I've always said this as an Ashtangi, is the yoga pose itself is not the destination. The yoga pose itself is a vehicle, and the destination is our health, the health of our mind, the health of our energy, and the health of our body. So we understand more and more that this idea of practicing is what brings us to this bigger learning, this bigger idea, and helps us really just kind of sink into the actual practicing itself and enjoy the practice, no matter how our knees feel or how bendy our back was or great our handstand was. All of that is sort of irrelevant in the bigger picture of just enjoying the overall practice of doing it. So I want to take all of what we've been studying this semester and bring it all together in this beautiful package for each of you for Diwali, because right now we're all about to stand at the edge of a new year. And I always like to think of it as we stand at the edge of a new year, it's like the beautiful story of your life, the adventure of your life. And now we've paused for a moment before we flip that next page of our story to what did this year bring us? I always begin with reflection. So with Diwali, this is a time to pause. And I want to say to go into your cave, to go into a dark place, to go into a quiet place of reflection, of meditation, of puja, and to just take time to sit in stillness and reflect how important that is for us. And in that reflection, maybe think about some of the joys of this year, the adventures of this year, and be grateful. And then also maybe you're going to realize you had a lot of challenges this year, and maybe you're grateful they're done, grateful that you were strong enough to survive them and what you maybe learned from those challenges. And as we take all this, then we prepare to move into the new year, and that brings us to a place of intention. What do you want to bring into your life this year? So one of the things I ask all of you to consider for Diwali, and because Diwali is more than any of the other New Years that we celebrate, to me it's a orange. It's about orange because marigolds are the flower, and it's about light. the Festival of Lights and bringing in lightness. And so I want you to consider the teachings we've been doing all semester on moving into the orange zone. And the orange zone being, as we talked about, like I have my daily habitual patterns of my body and my breathing and my thinking patterns. And the orange zone in yoga for us has been this place where I move my body into areas that don't normally get opened up. And I breathe into those areas and I open my mind up in a way that helps me break old patterns in my mind as well. So I'm going to myself and invite all of you to join me in making this Diwali about the orange zone and about how we can actually set intentions around breaking any patterns that are sticky or stagnant or cobwebs on them that you want to open up and breathe life into and create some possibility in your life. So spending that quiet time in meditation where your eyes are closed and you're in a quiet place and you're going deep within yourself, deep within your own cave, to ask yourself, what do you want to bring into your life this year? What would be that orange zone? What intentions could you create around what it is you want to bring into your life? And in that as well, I want you to also consider what we've been talking about all semester is practicing. And that every time we come to our yoga mat, we're practicing focus, we're practicing intention, we're practicing going into the cave. Being on your yoga mat is that cave. The sound of your breath is that silence. But where else in your life could you bring some type of practice that will bring you, like yoga, into what you want to bring into your life, which is maybe more joy or happiness or less stress? We talked about last week getting out of the parasympathetic nervous system. We talked about all semester, let it go, let it go, let it snow. So how can we actually create some intention around less stress, less anxiety, more love, more peace, more happiness? Is my intention for myself and my intention for all of you for Diwali this year. So I want to read the quotes first and then give you some Diwali homework. And I took these quotes from Mindlift, and the first one is by Lao Tzu. This is very beautiful. Close your eyes when you hear this. When you've heard it before, but maybe it'll speak to you differently right now as you think about just you're about to step into a new year of your own life's adventures. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. And watch your character, it becomes your destiny. And so it reminds me so much of like what we practice becomes what our lives are. So again, I could practice worrying and get really good at it. I myself, I'm kind of done with worrying. I'm really moving into a higher vibration that has a lot less worry in my life. I could really get good at being critical and judging. I could get really good at being pissy or angry or grumpy. I know some people that are experts in grumpiness. But I also know a lot of people that are experts in joy and experts in being compassion. And if we think about, I was thinking this today, like what if you were to overhear your friends talking about you and say, what are you an expert in? Are you an expert in being a friend? Are you an expert in being joyful and loving? Something for us to think about, like in the end, what is it that we want to say about our lives? How is it we want to live the moments of our life? Casper said this is a very Casper way to say it as well about practice. Practice is a kind of universal and fundamental skill that is applicable in everything. By being occupied with the doing instead of the achieving, you can stop worrying about the end result. Then we can start focusing on the activity of learning, on doing the doing, in full enjoyment of doing. And I think that's a lovely goal for us to choose something for Diwali that we want to say, I want to bring some energy into committing to this practice. And that could be the practice of yoga and what that gives you. That could be the practice of breath in your yoga practice. It could be the practice of being loving, being a better lover this year and loving your life and loving the people in your life. These are all intentions, sankalpa, that we can set for ourselves. So with Diwali, we always clean our houses, clean our offices, clean our bathrooms, clean under our beds, clean our drawers, clean the whole house. And then for the 10 days of Diwali, we fill our homes and offices and spaces with flowers, fresh flowers everywhere. We always buy a new outfit, maybe new underwear, maybe new towels, and enjoy wearing those your first week of the new year. And of course, lots of candles lit all over your house. And if you want to make noise, make noise too. Firecrackers, bells, all kinds of things when you do your celebration and your New Year puja. As always, we invite you to share this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ritual and practice with us here as you're part of our family. Namaste.